looking at John, the 21st chapter, honing in on verses 18 through 22. Going to be reading to you from the Common English Version of the Bible, which states, I assure you that when you were younger, you tied your own belt and walked around wherever you wanted. When you grow old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will tie your belt and lead you where you don't want to go. He said this to show the kind of death which Peter would glorify God. After saying this, Jesus said to Peter, follow me. Peter turned around and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them. This was the one who had leaned against Jesus at the meal and asked, Lord, who is going to betray you? When Peter saw this disciple, he said to Jesus, Lord, what about him? Jesus replied, if I want him to remain until I come, what difference does that make to you? You must follow me. For the time that is ours this morning, I want to talk to you with this thought in mind. What difference does that make to you? What difference does that make to you? In recent months, a video surfaced on the internet and went viral. It was a video at a church during a church service. And in this video, the pastor of the church had a young lady, I believe she's about 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. She's a young adult, come before the church and confess that she was pregnant out of wedlock. This video went viral. The pastor told the family, told the girl's mama, hey, we not throwing a baby shower for it. Don't have no baby shower because that's supporting sin. This video went viral. People gave their opinions on the video when it was posted. Some preachers even talked about this video from the pulpit. I would never do a young person in my church like that. You don't do a young person in the church like that. Well, this pastor saw that he had biblical stand for where he stood. He had support for where he stood, and so he did what he did in his church, where he's the pastor. I don't know if he told himself to do it, the Lord told him to do it. I wasn't in that conversation. Me and the Lord had some conversations that wasn't nobody in. So, hey, what can I say? I have a friend. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to that later. Because people said, hey, we go do a GoFundMe. We'll throw a baby shower. Come on now, really? So anyway, I have a friend. I have a friend who is a pastor. There are some people who disagreed with him going off to pastor. But that's what he did. He talked to the Lord. He did what the Lord said do. Nobody was in that conversation. But him and the Lord, yet you have people who worried about what he doing and why would he do what he doing. I'm going to come back to that later. Because somebody even asked him, what has he done to deserve it? But I'm going to come back to that later. Put a pin in it. In our text and in our context, similar situations happen. Jesus is walking and talking with Peter, holding the conversation. The others are walking behind. He giving Peter his instructions. He telling Peter, hey, I'm telling you what your assignment is, but let me tell you what's going to happen to you. You go share in my death. You will be crucified just as I was. I'm just letting you know how you go die. Your death will glorify God. But this is how it's going to happen. So just go ahead and do what I told you. I'm just letting you know what's down the road. I'm just letting you know what's coming down the pipe. That's all. John is walking behind him, and Peter looks back at John and says, hey, but what about him? I know what you told me to do, but what about him? What you tell him? Well, I know what you said go happen to me, but what about him? Peter worried about the other man. Jesus had one question for Peter. What difference does that make to you? Jesus said, if I say that John stay alive, if he live until whenever it is, my Father tell me to come back, what difference does that make to you? And might I propose that this was not an ethical question. This was not a rhetorical question. This was a mathematical question. For you see, in math, when you're doing subtraction, you have the minuend, which is the number you start with. You have the subtrahend, which is what is deducted. And then you have the difference, the result of what's taken away. After Jesus asked, if I say to John, stay alive until whenever I come back, what difference, what does it take away from you? Does it make to you? Jesus goes on to say, do what I told you to do. See, Peter was worried about the wrong thing. I say that because at the end of the day, Peter going to have to give account for Peter and not John. Peter has his assignment and designation. And John has his. Let me say that again. Peter has his assignment and designation. And John has his. But Peter worried about what the Lord told John. Okay, I'm going to move on. Peter is coming off a moment of redemption. And now with his foot in his mouth, he finds himself in a moment of rebuke. All because he is more concerned with what is going on in somebody else's yard. He all up in somebody else's driveway. He all up in somebody else's business when the Lord had already gave him his business of his own to tend to. He already told him, read the context before we get to the text. Feed my sheep when he gave him that redemption moment. When he asked him 3 times, do you love me? He said, feed my lambs. Feed my sheep, feed my sheep, feed my lambs. He told Peter what to do. But he got Peter worried about what Jesus told somebody else to do. Because Peter don't like what Jesus is saying. Why I gotta be me? And I understand Peter. I understand it. Why it gotta be me? We both been walking with you. We both walking with you now. Some say you favor him over the 11 of us. Over the other 11. Over the other 10. This would be 9. Over me and the rest of them. Some say you favor him over me. I'm a little, close with you. But you telling me, and only me, that I'm going to die this horrible death like you did on the cross. Peter is not acting outside of human concept, y'all. Peter ain't doing nothing that we wouldn't do, most of us, some of us, many of us. Think about it. Think about when you got chastised for the same thing your siblings did, some relative or somebody close. But when they did it, ain't nobody say or do nothing. But you got chastised. What'd you say? Well, what about them? What about sis? You ain't saying nothing to her. What about bro? You ain't saying nothing to him. Think about it. It happens on the job. I had a situation on the job. There's a guy, he was familiar at work, really didn't know his name, just know him and see him in passing, speak to him. I started calling him like me. He can't be like me. You got to be you. He got in trouble at work, doing something that I do all the time. At the time, that supervisor was talking to him about it and writing him up. Here I come, somewhere I ain't supposed to be doing something I ain't supposed to be doing. The supervisor ain't give me a word of rebuke or nothing else. Hey, get back to do it. No, I ain't going to be getting into particulars because I ain't going to talk about where it was at. Well, he told me, go do what you're supposed to be doing now. Why are you over here? Sit me over. Oh, this guy want to know. Well, he do that and he always doing this. Why I get rolled up and he don't get rolled up? Supervisor say, hey, don't worry about him. See, what he didn't understand, me and that supervisor had a sort of relationship. I do stuff I ain't supposed to do. But in order to get out of what I should be getting, I did favors. Hey, look, I need you to go do this for me. I need you to go do that. I did it, and I got carte blanche for it. Think about it, y'all. Peter ain't doing nothing we don't do. Nothing. Church I grew up at, we had a preacher there. Well, we had a staff of preachers. We had a lineup, 9 of us at one point. And one preacher, the pastor had him preaching more than others. We got an honorarium for preaching, conducting service, MCN. We got a little something for that too. And this preacher was doing more than others. And some others had a complaint about it. Well, see, the pastor wasn't favoring him. He wasn't doing nothing special for him. Well, he kind of doing something special, but it wasn't that he was favoring him above others. He understood this man had a family. And that this man had just moved here. And he got a family he's trying to take care of, and he got a job that ain't making ends meet. So whatever I can do to help him out a little bit. But everybody worried about the others. See, y'all, and that's what happened. So people wasn't doing nothing, wasn't human. That's how we are as people. And somebody knows the verse. That first verse will follow along all too well because of this. Because the song says, tempted and tried, we're oft made to wonder why it must be thus all the day long. While there are others living about us, never molested, though in wrong. I'm doing everything right, everything wrong. I got everything going wrong and they got everything going on. Peter ain't do nothing with a human. Why me? Why I gotta go through this? But let me show y'all something else in the text. Outside of Peter, John, the others walking with Jesus, there was a peanut gallery around. Y'all familiar with that term, the peanut gallery? If you're not, well, y'all about to hear about the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery was ear hustling. The peanut gallery heard Jesus say, if I say to John, if I say to him, stay here till I come back, what difference does that make to you? Follow me. The peanut gallery took that and ran and said that Jesus said John ain't gonna never die till he come back. Whenever that is, John gonna be here. John ain't gonna never see death. John gonna live forever. They went running with that. That's how the peanut gallery get down. They ear hustle, they run with it. The peanut, the first person changed it. By the time it got to the second, the third, the fourth, and so on, how far they went with that, although they ain't have no skin in the game, here they go running, spreading mess. So peanut gallery do, they ain't got no skin in the game, but yet they go running, spreading mess. Let me go back to True Vine, that I was talking about earlier. True Vine, Apostolic Church of Christ. The peanut gallery saw that video, had their commentary about it, and they went running. Oh, this man said, don't take care of her. Don't support or don't do nothing. You supporting the sin if you do anything. The woman's mama went on and, hey, y'all back up off my church and my pastor. I believe in what he is saying. He is biblical, and I believe what he is saying. I stand with what he says. Oh, what kind of woman is this? She brainwashed. Oh, they had their opinion about her, their opinion about the girl. They need to get about that church. I even saw a video where one guy went to the church to confront the pastor. Now, had them deacons locked the doors and tap danced on that man's head, he had it coming. Because you don't walk up, I'm going to say this little bit advice for somebody out there that don't know this. You don't walk up in a man's house and tell him how to run it. Let me back up out of there. The peanut gallery. Oh, man, that guy said, I'm going to get people together and shut your church down. We're going to protest Sunday and shut your church down. Why would you want to shut down the house of the Lord? Because you differ in what they preaching now. The devil. Anyway, I got a friend, y'all, that pastors the church. I told y'all that. I gave y'all a brief synopsis of what happened, how people are. And even recently, y'all, the peanut gallery. I was somewhere. I won't say where. And peanut gallery. Here the peanut gallery. Peanut gallery say, I say, oh, yeah, I was just over at so-and-so church. Yeah, where you been? Oh, here, there, everywhere. Matter of fact, I was at so-and-so church today. Oh, yeah? Well, I told him to do X, Y, Z. He was over, he said he was being courted by a church. And I told him, oh, well, here a church over yonder looking for a pastor. Why don't you go over there? He ain't listen to me. He went and started his own church. We'll see how that go. What? That ain't how it went. That ain't how it went down. But if he telling that to me, I know he telling that to other people. Negroes and their lies. I almost used that other N word. And nickels, dimes, pennies, and quarters. Boy, they spread quick, don't they? I'm going to go that way. Peanut gallery spreads mess. And they lay it on thick, too, just like some skipping. In our text, look at the peanut gallery. We going to talk about this in the text. Look at it. I mentioned True Vine the first time around. I mentioned my friend. And I went to the text. Now we going to go the same way. True Vine, my friend, the text. In the text, the peanut gallery have no assignment or co-assignment. They ain't on consignment. But yet their assumption is leading to the consumption of some BS. That's biblical stupidity. Biblical stupidity that does not and will not take anything away from them. As a matter of fact, it don't add to them. It don't multiply nothing that they have. It don't divide what they have. Yet the peanut gallery is spreading their messiness. Didn't make no difference to Peter. Didn't take nothing from him. Didn't add to him. Didn't multiply it. Didn't divide it. You still got everything that's yours. You still got your assignment. You still got your consignment. You still got everything. But yet you worried about somebody else. I got to get up out of here, y'all. I got to get up out of here. I can't stay here too long. But I stopped by. I want you to know I stopped by on my way to heaven to help somebody keep their stress levels down. I got to get up out of here, y'all. It's 6:21. I got to get up out of here, but I stopped by on my way to heaven to help somebody get better control over their pressure. Your pressure up, taking the medicine, eat right, you wondering why? I come out of here. I come back. I got to get up out of here, y'all. I got to go. But I want you to know I stopped by on my way to heaven to help somebody to feel overwhelmed. And you're feeling overwhelmed because you carrying a burden that ain't yours. Ooh. You carrying a burden that ain't yours. You so worried about everybody else's stuff. All right. Let me tell you something. It does not take away from your ministry. If it does not take away from your ministry, don't add it to yours. If it does not take away from your church, don't add it to yours. If it does not take away from your life, don't add it to yours. If it does not take money out your pocket, stop carrying it around. If it does not take food off your table, stop ingesting it, stop digesting it, and stop congesting it. Get up out of it. I could close this message with the words of a song by Elvis Presley entitled Clean Up Your Own Backyard. But I won't. I could close this message with the words of sweep around your own front door by the Williams brothers, but I won't. I could close this message with the same advice Jesus gave Peter. And I'm going to do just that. He told Peter, mind your biscuits and all will be great. No, that was Casey Musgraves. A song by Casey Musgraves, Biscuits. She said, mind your biscuits and all will be gravy. Jesus told Peter, mind your business and do what I told you to do. Don't worry about what assignment I gave everybody else. Stop worrying about what everybody else is out there doing. Don't stop worrying about what's going to happen with everybody else. Do what I told you to do. Don't even worry about what I told you going to happen because you can't change it anyway. The end result is already written. Just do the assignment that I gave you. Do the work I gave you. Y'all, that's how I am. That's my mantra. I'm going to do what the Lord told me to do, and I'm going to let others do what the Lord told them to do or didn't do. I'm going to let them do their thing. But I'm going to do what the Lord told me to do and watch to see the end result of where he takes me to. Why? Because one of these days I got to look him face to face. And when I look him face to face, I want to say, Lord, like the Negro spiritual, I done what you told me to do. Lord, when you told me to pray, I prayed. I done what you told me to do. Lord, when you told me to sing, I sang. I done what you told me to do. Lord, when you told me to visit the sick, I did just that. I done what you told me to do. Lord, you told me to preach your word, and I did just that. Lord, I done what you told me to do. I'm going to do that, y'all, because I don't know about you, but one of these days, when I see my God face to face, when I see my Savior for myself, I want to hear him say, well done, good and faithful servant. Well done, my child. Come on up just a little bit higher. Well done. Come on up and receive your reward. I don't know about you, but one of these days, I want to see him and say, I done, so he can say, son, well done. Be blessed, my brothers. Be blessed, my sisters. I love you. God loves you. Ain't a dadgum thing you, me, or the peanut gallery can do about it.